What is up guys, Stark here. I am back for another Fate video, and in today's video we are going to be doing the calendar video for May 2023. Now I do want to apologize first for missing April. I was away from town and I was doing a lot of things, and by the time I got home it just didn't seem worth it to really go ahead and make the calendar. I got really busy and just kind of put it off. That's why I try so hard to make these on the first of the month, so I don't make that excuse where I'm like, oh well, now it's like the second or the third or the fourth of the month, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna skip it. So we're back for the first of the month, another calendar video. We're gonna try and keep the streak alive here, and hopefully that was just a one-time thing. So let's just go ahead and get right into it here. We do have a ton of servants coming out in the month of May. However, there's not a whole lot of events, so you guys take that however you want. But we do have a ton, and I mean a ton of servants coming out, some of which I don't think JP actually got during this point in the game. However, there is at least one servant that I know of that I don't think we're going to get that JP did get. Although if we look at the two servants that I'm really talking about here, I definitely think that we won that trade. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and get right into it, and on the 1st of May, which is today as of this recording, there are a whole bunch of banners currently available on Global, so you guys can already see them on your game, but we're going to go ahead and talk about them anyway. First one is going to be for the Lost Belt servants, 1 through 4 servants. There's two different types of banners for this one. The big one here is that we are going to be getting our Juno Altar, or he's already out, so we don't have to worry about it. He's out, he's available right now. Go pull for him if you do not have him. He is a very, very good servant, so you definitely want to make sure you get him if possible. Now, I could see an argument as to why you would want to skip for that, considering what's coming up probably starting next month. But our Juno Altar is very good. We do not get him back very often. Like I said, I don't think JP got this during their event period for this, so it's really cool that we got a Arjuna Altar rerun. Strongly recommend pulling for him. He does also come with the 4-star Valkyrie. Not as much of a big deal, but there was a point in time where Valkyrie was a pretty popular servant. I think she's still popular, but not as good in game. There are definitely other options available. We do also have a few more banners to talk about. First one is the second part of the Lost Belt, Part 2, Chapter 1 through 4, whatever you want to call it. So you get Mothman and Atalanta Altar. Another set of really good servants as well. Mothman's pretty popular, pretty good servant there. If you're more into like the solo game and stuff like that, Mothman is a pretty good option for that. We do have a Grail Front coming out soon. Maybe he's a good one. I'm not too familiar with how that all works, but Mothman's overall a really good servant, and Atalanta Altar is also very good. We do also have a couple other banners here. We have a couple left over from the Grail Live event. So we have Altera and Tamamo Cat rated up. Pretty old servants, but if you do want to get their costumes, then, and you don't have the servants by now, then good opportunity to pull for them. Same with the other banner. We do have Queen Meve and Nero Claudius, the 4-star version. Again, same thing, pretty old servants, but you do have the opportunity to pull for them if you do want to use them with their costumes. Okay, we also have one more banner to talk about on the first. This is going to be the Grail Live, not the Grail Live, the Grail Front pre-release campaign. This is going to feature Sanzang and Bedivere. I only include Bedivere because he's story locked. I don't usually talk about 3 stars unless there's a really specific reason. Now, the interesting thing about this is we did not get a pre-release campaign on JP as far as I'm aware, but we did get a Camelot banner. So I'm thinking that this is that banner. However, the difference is that on JP, they got Da Vinci. We did not get Da Vinci on this banner. So like I said, it's a bit of a trade. I'd rather get Arjuna Altar than Da Vinci. Well, personally, I'd rather get Da Vinci than Arjuna Altar because I already have Arjuna Altar. But for the general, I don't know, I guess most people would probably, if they don't have either of the two servants, they would definitely prefer to get Arjuna Altar, if I had to guess. So yeah, I do think that the pre-release campaign for the movie has been substituted by the pre-release campaign for the Grail Front. And other than Da Vinci, I don't know why Da Vinci got taken off the banner, but I guess that's irrelevant at this point. Anyway, you do have Sanzang and Bedivere rated up for the first. Like I said, lots of servants, guys. Lots and lots of servants, and we got a long way to go. Alright, so moving straight on to the second here. nothing really changes except on the pre-release campaign for Grailfront, we get Ozzy added to the mix. So he would be the third and final servant for that banner. And yeah, nothing else changes. So everything stays the same for the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th of May. However, on the 4th of May, this is going to be the final day to pull for Mothman and Atlanta Altar. So if you did want either of those two servants, then make sure you go ahead and try and pick them up before the end of the day on the 4th. And then on the 5th of May, we do have I think we're going to have the Grailfront on the 5th. It could be a couple different days. It could be the 2nd, it could be the 5th, it could be the 9th. I went with the 5th. I think that's the best bet for the way the month shakes up and the way I think it's going to go. So we're just going to stick with that. Of course, the dates are just kind of subjective at this point without really any sort of confirmation. We're just guessing. This is more of just an overview of what servants are actually coming. So, speaking of, we do have 4 new servants. Well, they're old servants, but 4 new servants coming in the month of May. We have the 5-star Artoria, Gawain, Lancelot, and Tristan added to the mix. So, we're getting a pretty good amount of Camelot servants with the Camelot Grailfront. So, if you wanted any of them, they are very popular. They do come back pretty often. So, you might already have them all by now. But if not, very good opportunity to do so. Nothing else changes on the other banners that I haven't already talked about. However, this is the final day to pull for Altera, Tamamo, Queen Meve, or Nero. They will all be off the banner at the end of the day on the 5th. So, if you wanted them, make sure you pull for them. Alright, so moving on to the 6th. Other than the characters falling off the banner that I previously talked about, there's really nothing to talk about here. No changes. Everything else remains the same. And this is going to be the same for the 7th. The only difference is that Artoria switches out for Mordred. So, if you wanted Mordred, now you can finally pull for her. I do have her as the 5th on the calendar, but that's just a character to symbolize the banner. So, Mordred will be available on the 7th. This will also be the final day to pull for Arjuna or Valkyrie, if you did want either of them. So moving on to the 8th, not much of a change here. The only difference is that Sanzang fell off of her banner, and it's just Ozzy and Bedivere. The Camelot Knights are all... nothing's changed there. This will also be the final day to pull for Ozzy or Bedivere if you did want them. I guess I should have said on the 7th would be the final day to pull for Sanzang, but yeah. We're going to just go ahead and add that to the mix right there. So on the 9th, there's only 2 servants available. It's going to be Artoria, Pendragon, Lancer, 5-star, and Gawain. I think it's funny that on like the 5th we have almost too many servants, and then on the 9th there's only 2 servants rated up. But yeah, it is what it is. We're kind of just going to speed rush through this here for a little bit. The 10th you have Lancelot rated up alongside Artoria. The 11th will be Tristan alongside Artoria. The 12th, we're back to having a ton of servants, so we're going to have Artoria, Tristan, Mordred, Gawain, Lancelot, all the Camelot Knights on that banner rated up, and they're going to be rated up for quite a few days, so we're not going to talk about them too much here until anything changes. And then on the 12th, I do believe we're going to get rerun of last year's summer event, so that's going to be Kiara, Abby, and Sigurd, like those 3 banners. So we are going to start with 2 of them. So it's going to be Kiara, it's going to be Ilya, and Brynhild. And then on the banner 2, or the male banner, you have Sigurd, Landling, and Emiya. Alright, so nothing's going to change here for the 13th. Everything, all the banners remain the same. So on the 14th, we lose Brynhild and we lose Emiya. Now, the banners will rotate. They'll be back. Don't worry about that. And then on the 15th, we have Brynhild and Emiya rated up again. The 16th, we're back to Ilya and Lan Ling. The 17th, we're back to Brynhild and Emiya. You guys can see a pattern here. But on the Camelot banner, we do only have Mordred and Gawain rated up. The 18th, we have Mordred and Lancelot. And then for the summer banners, we have all of them rated up again. And then on the 19th, we're back to having a ton of servants rated up. So we have Tristan and Mordred rated up for the Camelot banner. And this is, I believe, the last day for the Camelot banner. Yeah, it is. So make sure you get all those pulls in before the 19th. The first 2 summer banners are all the same. They have the same characters rated up. But we do also get the 3rd summer banner. And that's going to be Abby, Tomoe Gozen, Murasaki, and Fujino. Forgot her name there for a second. So you got a ton of servants there on the 19th. The 20th, like I said, the Camelot banner goes away, so you just have the summer servants now. And the only change here is going to be that Murasaki and Fujino go away. The 21st, Tomoe and Murasaki swap places. The 22nd, Murasaki and Fujino swap places. The 23rd, we're back to all the banners switching around. So you have Ilya, Emiya, and Tomoe rated up. The 24th, Murasaki and Tomoe switch places. 25th, Fujino and Murasaki switch places. The 26th, all three of them are available for the third banner. On the first two banners, you have Brynhild and Lan Ling rated up. On the 27th, we have Ilya, Emiya, Tomoe, and Murasaki rated up. And this is the same for the 28th. On the 29th, we have Brynhild, Lan Ling, and Tomoe rated up. On the 30th, Murasaki and Tomoe switch places. And then on the 31st, we do have Ilya, Brynhild, Lan Ling, Emiya, all rated up. And then you do also have Murasaki and Fujino rated up. So that's kind of a mouthful to get through. So many different servants switching around. But I think we got there in the end without too many mistakes. So yeah, basically speaking, there's a lot of servants coming out this month. It's debatable whether or not you should pull for any of them outside of Arjuna Altar. Personally, I wouldn't pull for any of them outside of Arjuna Altar. The summer characters are always hit or miss characters. People, mainly get them for like collections and stuff. So yeah, I could see you want to do that. But what's coming out in June, I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to it. I really don't want to spoil it for anyone who does actually know what it is. But I do think June's going to be a really big month. So my strong recommendation is save as many of your courts as possible for the next 2 months. And if you don't have Arjuna Altar, definitely go for Arjuna Altar. But outside of that, I would kind of just save the courts. Honestly, I know summer characters are cool, but we're going to be getting new summer characters as well for, this year. So, I mean, it's up to you, but I do think June and July and August, like, those are always going to be your big months. So just spend your courts wisely, guys. Just be smart about it, okay? So that's all I got. A bit longer, I guess. I don't know. I have to edit it and see how it ends up time-wise. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments down below who you guys are pulling for the month of May. And I'll see you guys next time.